Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. General Hospital spoilers. Jason gets a visitor. Danny brings Jake to see Dad. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, will get a visitor. Might Danny Morgan, Asher and Tonneson, bring his brother? Will Jake Weber, Hudson West, get to see their dad too, even if he has to keep it secret? Jason may not be exactly happy with Danny bringing Jake to see him, therefore bringing him into the loop as well, but Jason's survival and fugitive status are now public knowledge. Based on what Jason told Danny, he'll tell Jake not to tell his mother, Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, either. Jake probably already knows about Jason, and so does his mom. Elizabeth would know better now than to help keep Jason's secret, after what she went through with Nicholas Cassadine, Adam Huss, and Esme Prince, Avery Kristen Pohl. Like when Danny brought Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, to the boathouse, he won't tell Jake anything at first except he wants him to see something or needs his help. Jason will be in better shape since Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, fixed him up, but still not 100%. Jason told Danny it wasn't fair to mix him up in this, although Danny doesn't know the full scope of what this is. He just knows his dad is in trouble and he was hurt badly, and that's why he brought Michael and Willow into the situation. Jason won't want Jake mixed up in this either, but by now Jake probably already knows he's wanted for shooting Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna. Danny, Michael, Willow, and Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, all believe Jason wouldn't and didn't shoot Dante. Elizabeth likely doesn't believe it either, although like others, she may question why if he made it off Cassadine Island, why didn't he contact any of them? Jason realizes that he owes the same explanation to his boys as he gave to Michael, although he doesn't give much detail. He tells them he would have been home long ago had it not been for being captured by people who forced him to work for them. It's like being on a mission. He has to finish what he started or he won't be able to live with himself, because it's so important and someday he'll be able to explain further. But for now, as he told Michael, they'll just have to trust him. The other gunman whose shot he diverted was the one who shot him and Dante. Until and if Dante wakes up and can testify to that, Jason has to be careful, implying there are more than the police and FBI after him. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GH right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates. The General Hospital buzzed with the usual frenetic energy, doctors and nurses rushing from one room to another, patients and visitors weaving through the chaos. But amidst the flurry of activity, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. For today was no ordinary day at the hospital, it was a day marked by unexpected reunions and heartfelt moments. In one of the private rooms on the top floor, Jason Morgan lay still, his rugged features betraying the toll of recent events. Tubes and wires snaked from his body, a stark reminder of the ordeal he had endured. Yet, despite his weakened state, there was a quiet strength in his demeanor, a resilience that had seen him through countless trials. As he lay there, lost in thought, the sound of approaching footsteps drew his attention. With a faint furrow of his brow, he turned his head to see the door slowly creaking open, revealing a figure silhouetted against the harsh fluorescent lights of the corridor. "Danny?" Jason's voice was barely a whisper, his eyes widening in disbelief as he recognized the young boy standing in the doorway. It had been so long since he had seen his son, so many missed moments that could never be reclaimed. And yet, here he was, standing before him, a beacon of hope in the darkness. "Dad!" Danny exclaimed, his face lighting up with a mixture of joy and relief as he rushed to Jason's side. With trembling hands, he reached out to grasp his father's hand, his fingers intertwining with Jason's in a gesture that spoke volumes. Tears welled up in Jason's eyes as he gazed upon his son, his heart overflowing with emotions too complex to put into words. It was a moment he had dreamed of countless times during his long absence, a moment that now felt almost surreal in its intensity. "I've missed you, buddy," Jason whispered, his voice thick with emotion as he squeezed Danny's hand tightly. "I've missed you so much." "I missed you too, Dad," Danny replied, his voice barely above a whisper as he fought to keep his own tears at bay. For years, he had longed for this moment, yearned to be reunited with the father he had feared he might never see again. And now that it was finally here, he could hardly believe it was real. As father and son embraced, the room seemed to fade away around them, leaving only the two of them locked in a tight embrace. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated love, a bond forged in the crucible of adversity and strengthened by the passage of time. But their reunion was soon interrupted by the sound of another set of footsteps echoing down the hallway. With a quick glance towards the door, Jason and Danny watched as it swung open once more, revealing a smaller figure standing in the threshold. "Dad?" The voice was barely a whisper, hesitant and uncertain, yet tinged with an unmistakable sense of longing. And as the figure stepped into the room, bathed in the soft glow of the overhead lights, Jason's heart skipped a beat. "Jake," he breathed, his eyes widening in shock as he took in the sight of his youngest son standing before him. It had been so long since he had seen Jake, so many years lost to the cruel twists of fate. And yet, here he was, standing before him, a living reminder of all that he had left behind. "Dad," Jake whispered, his voice choked with emotion as he crossed the room in a few quick strides. With trembling hands, he reached out to touch Jason's face, his fingers tracing the familiar contours with a reverence born of years of separation. For a moment, father and son simply stared at each other, the weight of their shared history hanging heavy in the air. It was a moment fraught with emotion, a delicate balance between joy and sorrow, hope and despair. With a choked sob, Jason reached out to pull Jake into his arms, holding him tightly against his chest as if afraid that he might disappear if he let go. It was a gesture of pure instinct, a primal need to protect and cherish the ones he loved most in this world. "I'm here, Dad," Jake whispered, his voice muffled against Jason's chest as he returned the embrace with equal fervor. "I'm here now." As father and sons held each other close, the room seemed to swell with the warmth of their love, a beacon of hope in a world too often shrouded in darkness. And amidst the chaos of General Hospital, a family reunited at last found solace in the simple act of being together.